they'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs at
Hi everybody, Russ from the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new around here, where the bloody hell have you been? And you could have had a great time if you'd been a subscriber. We had a great show on last night. We had David Connolly, the former West Ham player, 14 goals in 48 appearances, I think it was. Top man. Really good interview, really transparent, really honest, particularly about his time at West Ham, and put a really good My Hammers 11 together. So please check that out. It was really, really good. Also, the latest episode of We Are West Ham podcast is now out, so make sure you check that out on any device you listen to podcasts. We work with the guys over there. We'll have them on the channel soon. We'll be on their podcast soon as well, so make sure you check that out. But you saw the title screen. Let's talk Vlasic. Let's talk Vlasic. So could Vlasic be the unlikely answer to all our problems? Who knows? But according to several sources, West Ham want to recall Nikola Vlasic from his loan spell at Torino, according to several Italian news sources, including an Italian newspaper, Libero. But also Calcio Mercato reported on the 5th of January that Torino were eager to make Vlasic's move permanent. Indeed, there were even discussions about Sasa Lukic from the midfielder from Torino as maybe part payment or something like that. They were trying to negotiate a £13 million deal, which was a massive step down from what we paid for Vlasic a couple of seasons ago. However, as I said, Libero have suggested in their print edition that was on Wednesday during the day, the Hammers were eager to recall Vlasic to the London Stadium. He's been in great form for the Italian side. We know, we've seen all the goals on Twitter. It would be a shock if he came back to London Stadium. He had a terrible time in the 21-22 season. Never really got going. Was played out of position. He's gone to Torino. He's been played in the right position. He's loving life over there. And maybe Moyes thinks he can get a tune out of him if he plays him in the right bloody position, particularly with so many injuries out at the moment, with the likes of Danny Ings and Scamacca out for up to a month. He's best suited at that number 10 role, and that's an area which maybe we're lacking a little bit. You know, I don't think Lanzini's not that player now. Benny tends to be more on the left-hand side. Fornals has been used industriously in that 10 role at times, but maybe Vlasic could be the answer. I don't know. I mean, the club have apparently categorically denied this, totally denied it by the Irons. But look, he hasn't moved yet. He ain't moved yet. He could be, as long as he's not a solution, but he's sort of a band-aid, if that makes sense. I think that would be the best for West Ham. I don't think under Moyes he was utilised well, the same way Benny was never really utilised well under Moyes. But he's got this new lease of life, so we should see. I mean, obviously we know we need to improve our attacking options. We know we've only got less than a week of the transfer window to go. We need some reinforcements. We know someone like Antonio, he's got itchy feet, but I can't see him leaving this window because of the injuries to the likes of Ings and Scamacca. He could. He may be the answer, and I think if he came back, right, all the fans will be behind him, because I think he could be a really good player, and he's seen at Torino, he is a good player. You can't just and he was a good player before he arrived, and just it hasn't worked under Moyes. But maybe for a lot of players, they go and come back, and maybe it's time for him to come back. We shall see. One player we probably won't be seeing very often now, unless we play Bournemouth, is Darren Randolph. Randomly, in all honesty, in terms of outgoings, he was actually one of the 10 players that I thought would probably leave in January, but maybe not to Bournemouth, and maybe not in this sort of random way. He's apparently joined Bournemouth on a permanent deal. He was and has committed to the club until the end of the season at least. There hasn't been an official announcement yet, but it's all but. Joseph Anang has been recalled from his loan spell at Derby to play the third keeper. We've also got Nathan Trott out on loan as well. So we know there's cover there, which is again another reason why I think the Areola thing is I can't see him leaving the club, to be honest, because we haven't got anyone else after Fabianski, and I think Areola deserves that push now into the first team slot, particularly Fabianski, although he's got the rest of this season, and then he does have the option. Well, the club do have an option for another year, but then he'll be almost 40 then, surely. The 35-year-old rejoined West Ham in January 2021 from Middlesbrough. Beforehand, his first stint, him and Adrian were vying for that first team, number 1 jersey. He played a lot of first team games for us in his first stint. Second stint, he struggled for game time. He's only made 10 first team appearances, the last of which was in May 2021. He still has 18 months left in his contract. So, if a deal can be concluded in time, he would be available for Bournemouth's Premier League clash, and not obviously this weekend because it's the 4th round, but next week against Brighton on February the 4th. So we wish him well. Obviously, he's recently become a dad as well to Alexandra. He impregnated Alexandra Burke, but yeah, so he had a child with Alexandra Burke. And so, Bournemouth. Yeah, fair play. Obviously, they've got Neto. They've got the young lad as well. And I think he would go in and probably be number 2. To Neto, but good luck to him. Another player out the door potentially, according to XWHU employee, is the under-23 defender Will Greenidge. He's set to lead the club on loan for the remainder of the season. He's really impressed at his time for the club. He very early on against Benfica when he was 15, he's set to sign for Colchester United until the end of the season. We've always got a good association with Colchester United. The club feel that a loan will provide him with the experience he needs. He's a young fullback, but he needs that experience. He needs experience to further his development in his career. I think he'll do well. Colchester have always had a very positive working relationship with West Ham. The kids, they do tend to send our kids out on loan to Colchester. They had Dan Chesters previously, and he played a lot of games for them before being recalled. And the club have high hopes for Greenwich, in particular. He signed a new deal at the end of last season, and then obviously the conversation will develop in terms of development into the youth side, and obviously the whole thing of Ashby and various others. But look, he has to go out. These guys, they need to get loan league games under their belt, and I think he would be Colchester would be a good one. Another player out on loan apparently is Connor Coventry. You can probably it's almost like a betting, but like a bingo thing. Connor Coventry on loan. That's your line for your transfer bingo. According to Dharmesh, Rotherham are in talks with West Ham over the loan signing of midfielder Connor Coventry. He's expected to extend his deal at West Ham for another year before completing his move. He's made in total, I think, 10 appearances for the club. He's been shipped out. He's 22. He's been shipped out recently to, I think, not recently, but his career to Lincoln, Peterborough, MK Dons a couple of times as well. His current contract actually runs out in the summer, and the club are apparently willing to extend it as he seeks a loan move away. So, he may, obviously, a 6-month loan at the end of the season. He's out of contract at the end of that season, now. So rather than let him go for nothing, they're extending his contract apparently. So we'll wait to see what happens with that. But Dharmesh says on Sky Sports, that they're in talks to sign him. So he's expected to sign, as you said, an extension to his contract before completing the temporary move. Just doesn't happen for him, has it? I mean, he's 22 now, and he's been shipped out to various lower league clubs. He's a good player. He's a good player. I don't think he'll ever break past the Declan Rice and Paqueta partnership. I think if I was him, I don't even agree the extension of his contracts. I mean, then it's tied down. I think he had a really good time at MK Dons. I mean, look at Josh Cullen. Josh Cullen made the decision not to stay with West Ham, but to go to Anderlecht, and then invariably has gone to Burnley and will be in the Premier League. And I think Connor's another one of those players. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's the daily. We'll be back later on with the Hammers headlines. Some lovely transfer rumour stories. Oh, we're getting there. We've got less than a week to go. As I said, if you've got any spare time, watch the David Connolly interview we had about an hour long last night. And if you're walking the dog, we'll listen to a podcast, check out the We Are West Ham podcast. James and we're all top guys, and they'll be on the channel. We'll be on their podcast as well, so check them out on anywhere that you watch your listen to your podcast things. And also we'll be doing, as well as that, we'll be doing well, no, you've already seen that. We'll be including their clips and stuff on the channel as well. So, and that's it, my friends. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. If you're new around here, over 50% of you are. No, it's about 50. I think it's about 45% now of you aren't subscribers. Please be a subscriber. Join the 14,000 who have subscribed to the West Ham Network. We've just hit 14,000 subscribers, so thank you very, very much. Or maybe support the channel. There's a join button down there and become a channel member. Tomorrow we'll be doing our live Have Your Say Friday. And we'll be doing the prize draws for January. We haven't had time to do the January ones, but also we've only got a week, and then we're doing February ones again. So any of our channel members are automatically entered into their prize draw. So in essence, your monthly membership is a raffle ticket, in essence. So that's what we do. But anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye, my friends.